Before groups like BTS and EXO have brought global notoriety to K-pop, Big Bang served a crucial role first on establishing the genre's foundation to the industry many of us know today. Initially consisting of their centerpiece member and leader, gdragon, powerhouse vocalist Taeyang, their main rapper T.O.P, and secondary vocalists Daesung and Seungri. Big Bang debuted in 2006, releasing multitude of projects throughout the years, but most notably remembered for their 2012 electronic song Fantastic Baby, which I know you've already heard at some point in your life.
Wow, fantastic baby.
And Bang 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 in 2016.
Bang, bang, bang.
However, alongside with their massive success, the group has also experienced multitude of controversies throughout the years mostly, which in the process have whittled down their roster from a fivesome into a trio, which is a noticeable deduction to their composition. And in this video, we will be going over the history of its two former members and analyze the reason for their departure and what its impact could mean as Big Bang continue to thrive into the ever-changing industry, especially since they're also expected to make a comeback sometime in 2026. But before we begin, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. I am trying to hit 1,000 subs and your support for a growing YouTuber like myself would be very much appreciated. With that being said, let's get started. First is their main rapper, T.O.P, who was one of the two rappers of the group alongside with gdragon. He was notable for contributing a steady bass delivery in his verses, which effectively contrasted gdragon's flashy and fluctuating vocal range. The two had a good combination that led to the creation of the subunit GD and T.O.P, which occasionally produced hits such as Knockout in 2010 and Zutter in 2016 as a part of their well-known album, Made. T.O.P's rap line element helped highlight their vocalist singing features and have gdragon safely cover all his bases as a versatile member of the group. However, in 2016, he was charged with multiple instances of marijuana usage, in which he have pled guilty and was imprisoned for a total of 10 months, prior to his mandatory military service. Following the indictment in 2017, T.O.P was consequentially hospitalized after he was found unconscious in his station due to medication overdose, and at that point in time, it was more than clear that he was suffering from a level of mental health issue, which may likely have been caused and related to the stress he accumulated from the entertainment industry. In an interview with Prestige Hong Kong, the rapper admitted that around that time period was one of the worst moments in his life, that in some point he have even considered committing, which needless to say was a rough experience, and we could only speculate what's happening off camera with artists of highly successful images such as his. But of course later on, he would have his redemption. In April 2022, which was the last time Big Bang was relatively active in terms of producing music, T.O.P partaken on their project Still Life, which had a very vibrant and optimistic approach to their musicality in terms of visual, composition, and lyrics. But of course, that have proven to be his last project together in the group, as he announced his departure in May 2023 to pursue a solo career. Since then, T.O.P has partaken as an actor in Squid Game as a side villain named Thanos, who shared loose similarities to his persona and gave him a chance to extend the reach of his skills within the realm of acting. Time and time again, T.O.P has expressed his regrets towards his past actions and his decision to depart from Big Bang in order to not besmirch the legacy they have created over the years. But of course, as his story goes along, he seems to be slowly redeeming himself as he establishes himself in other planes of creativity wherein he is growing in his own ways. The second member on this video that we will be highlighting is Seungri, who served as the sub-vocalist of the group. Early on Big Bang's career, he saw a limited window of screen time as he stood behind most of their members' notoriety. But nevertheless, he provided a stable vocal that served adequately enough to complement other members in the group who had flashier vocals like gdragon and powerful pitches such as daesung and taeyang. But later down Big Bang's run, he managed to get more exposure as he became a lead singer and bridge to some of their songs, get broadcast features in Korea, solo albums, and world tours under his name. Outside of his music success, he also started getting involved into some entrepreneurial activities in different avenues, really taking full advantage of his notoriety as a member of Big Bang, in which would become a gateway to the reason of his departure. In 2019, Seungri, alongside with other South Korean celebrities, has been outed as one of the main perpetrators of the Burning Sun scandal, which is one of the biggest documented infamies of South Korea. It is basically a nightclub that Seungri is a co-owner of that became a hub of sexual assault, prostitution, drug trafficking, and police corruption, where all lascivious sins came to take place. There is a BBC documentary that will greatly detail this expose, and you can go check it out on YouTube. Multiple victims have corroborated testimonies against the Big Bang member, in which was proven guilty that led to a 3-year imprisonment and almost $1 million in fine upon Seungri's head. And for a scandal that got international rap, honestly, he got off really easy, which is kinda crazy, you know. And I have a sneaking suspicion that there may have been some corrupted factors that have taken place behind this prosecution, but that's just my theory. But regardless, what was non-negotiable was his retirement from the entertainment industry in 2019 in order to save face from the embarrassment he brought upon Big Bang and YG Entertainment. Going on to the present day, he is currently back to his entrepreneurial and investment shticks, living a carefree life and still taking advantage of the band's popularity despite of his departure.
Seungri is back in the headlines, and again not for a good reason. At an event in Cambodia, he stated he will bring GD to the nation, while reportedly celebrating his birthday.
One day bring the G-Dragon to here.
Which is needless to say shameless to his behalf. With Seungri doing all these kind of bullshit, it kinda makes T.O.P smoking marijuana looks like a fucking saint, you know? And this foreboding is, I have to say, one of the most infuriating and disappointing downfalls that I have ever seen in my entire life. Going back onto the main point of this video, can Big Bang be as effective even after the departure of T.O.P and Seungri? And to be objective, gdragon, taeyang, and daesung will have to take some major adjustments with these changes in hand. It's unlikely that they'll be able to perform their old songs again unless they compromise its composition, just like how they did in Mama 2024 in Japan when they performed Bang 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 and Fantastic Baby. With T.O.P gone, all of the rap line will have to fall under G-Dragon's shoulder, so there's a good chance that they may shift their musical style that requires a more limited window for that element, or with him doubling down on that regard and giving more chorus responsibilities to daesung and taeyang. While on the other hand, even though he is a terrible person, Seungri had some of the more gentler vocal elements on Big Bang that gave a softer pacemaking to some of their songs that were more solemn and relied on depth, just like Full of Tears, Loser, A Few, and Last Dance. With them gone, daesung and taeyang will now have to balance that subtle vacuum, which is not as bad compared to T.O.P because it seemed manageable to some degree considering they did okay on Still Life. But overall, I think they'll do fine. They just have to do a number of adjustments, not just to simply fill the vacuum of their former members, but to also translate their chemistry into something that will befittingly restructure their musical composition that would complement a trio consisting of one rapper and two singers. Anyway, let me know of your thoughts about this video. Leave a comment down below, subscribe to the channel, and let me know. Thanks for watching, and keep living out there.